I'm George Miller. Wait. All right, so I'm George Miller. I am a life coach, an executive presence coach, career coach, and I'm here with
Dr. Phil Blue, and I am coach, director of operations here at the Wright Foundation, and professor of applied neuroscience at the Wright Graduate University for the realization of freaking potential.
Badass. Okay, so if you like this stuff, you want coaching, check out in the comments below and in the description below. Like this, subscribe this, let us know what you want. Send us what things you want us to respond to. And if you don't want to do coaching or anything like that, there's all kinds of other things in there for you to check out. Again, I would love to hear from you. We want to hear what your questions are. We want to hear what things you want us to respond to.
And can they contact us directly?
Yeah.
Okay, contact us directly.
Yeah, absolutely. 28, shy, get nervous when talking to cute girls. My mind goes blank and not knowing what to say. I'm 40 and same thing. So I was homeschooled up until partway through 5th grade, and again after 8th grade. My homeschool left me with a very controlled upbringing with very little human interaction besides immediate family. Dang, okay. That left me with very little social skills and not knowing how to talk to people that I don't know, especially when it comes to talking to girls. I tried, women, by the way, now you're gonna use that word. I tried to hit on a couple of girls when I was younger. The first time was when I was about 15. I dropped a pickup line on a cashier. Are you from Tennessee? Because you are only 10, I see. To impress some friends. My vision started going into tunnel vision and turning black with difficulty breathing. The second time I was about 22 or 23, I started to stumble my words and shaking. She rejected, which is fine, but I didn't know how to act and tried to leave right away. The third and last time went a little better with me just stumbling my words a little bit. I switched to online dating because it was easier for me, but when I get to talking to girls, I don't know what to say. I go with asking them what they like to do for fun and that type of thing, but it ends with me getting ghosted mostly. Well, my question is, are there anyone that someone dated that was extremely socially awkward and sucked at having conversations? Thank you for your time.
Okay.
Great questions.
Yeah, there's a lot here. So people just aren't that socially awkward. I mean, so this kid, he's 28, male, struggling with dating. Okay, I'm just going to start from the top. First thing is that the only way it's like you're trying to accept that you're socially awkward and like look for someone to like a socially awkward person or feel sorry for you or whatever. And the reality is it's just numbers. I mean, you need to get out there. You need to talk with more people. You're thinking about it in like a linear fashion, like, oh, I'm getting better and better. Like the third person's going to be better. The reality is that, 1/3, I was reading recently in a book on dating because I'm in a similar thing. We're all like, it's always scary to talk with women. Like 1 in 3 people are going to really like you. If you're really being yourself, 1 in 3 people are going to really like who you are.
I like you a lot.
And so the whole game is not to like get so good that you get everyone to like you, which is kind of like where I've gotten in my life at a certain point where I could kind of get anyone to like me. And that was like not a win. That's not a win because it's like, this isn't like a funny one. This is like a tough one.
This is awesome.
Yeah. So like if you can get anyone to like you, but it's not gratifying or fulfilling because they're not really liking you. You're just kind of saying what they want to hear. And so I would say, be the awkward, weird dude and go out and talk with a bunch of women, meet a bunch of people. Online dating's great, but supplement it with in-person conversations. Go to the coffee shop. If you see someone who looks interesting, go say hello.
Hello there.
Make sure they're not on the phone. Make sure they're not like working or whatever like that. But like, be respectful, have some fun. But like, most people like being talked to. I did an experiment on this like a few weeks ago. And I went out because I've been doing online dating and it's great. It's really fun and stuff like that. But I wanted to go out and just meet people. I'm so sick of just like having these chats with online dating because I'm a little different. When I meet people, I'm a little less nervous, but like it's more that initial approach. And so I went out for like a week and just challenged myself for like an hour a day to go out and talk with people I didn't know, men, women more so. And people I was attracted to. I'm like, oh, this will be fun. Went out, talked with people. It was one of the scarier things I've ever done. I mean, you were talking about television. My heart was pounding. I did some audacious things. I mean, I went around. I talked with some.
Yeah, and you were
people.
sober with this, though. I'm imagining.
Oh yeah, definitely don't drink. No. Definitely don't drink because like you lose the fear, you lose all that element, and that's what makes it fun. And that's also what makes it authentic.
Coming out after he got sober, and he goes out on stage, and he's like, "What the f-?
Scary?"
Yes, he's like, "No wonder I was doing all that stuff. This is terrifying." But to your point, it enhanced aliveness and connection and that kind of thing. So keep going.
Yeah. So I mean, my big thing is like get out there, get numbers, meet people, get phone numbers, but also just increase your numbers and getting to know people. But the thing is, like, you can be like boring in a conversation.
This is boring. I'm bored now.
It's scary enough to approach someone, and it's scary enough for them to have you approach them, that like a boring conversation is okay. Do not practice what you're going to say. Don't try to figure something out. Just go up and be as honest as you can. And we're all humans. We're all trying to figure it out. And most people like being approached. Most people like it. And if you're respectful and not trying to pull these one-liners or whatever, like, I get it. I know someone probably told you to do that. That's like the worst thing you could do. Literally like a, hey, how's it going? How's your day going? We're all adults. And if someone's mean to you, great. You just like eliminated them from the data pool. You know, like you're just trying to find someone for a meaningful connection with. If you're going for like the hookup kind of thing, like I don't really know what to tell you because like that's just not my style. Like if you go out to the bars, like I did do that experiment at a bar. Like I went to a bar and I just started talking with random people around the bar. I got nice responses and stuff like that, but it's just way less fun because it's less conscious. People are drinking. They're not like all there. And honestly, one of the things I noticed is that like not a lot of people are having fun at bars. I mean, there's certain places where people are dancing and they're doing stuff, listening to music and they're having fun. But I went to this one bar and I literally, I left it on. I talked with some people and I was like, why are you out? Like, are you having fun? Like, is there a reason you're out tonight? Because this conversation is really unamusing for me, you know? But like, so get out there, have fun, take the risks. It's scary for everyone. It doesn't get less scary. And then you're going to get rejected. That's kind of the way it goes, man. Like you're going to get rejected and that's okay. But rejections are what you need to get out of the way to get to the people that really like you. And rejections also mean that you're being authentic and being yourself. So get in the game, be awkward. You're going to get less awkward over time, but embrace the awkwardness. And people have this whole thing about defining who's awkward, who's not, if they're being awkward. And it's so like uninteresting. I just do not think it's relevant. So that's my take on it.
I like that. I really like what you're saying. You're sharing a bunch of stuff that I think is cool. There's the authenticity and that people aren't going to like you. Like if you're being who you are, like there's going to be people who don't really like you. Like that's kind of a cool thing to just know. And, you know, I think as you're sharing, I was thinking about some of the stuff with the mind going blank. Because that's a thing that comes up in interviews when somebody's doing some interview coaching with me, and how to address that, because that's high intense. That's a lot of fear. That's a significant amount in your body, and so we want to find what is it that you're afraid of, because your fear is telling you something, and if you're able to be present with that fear that comes up when you're talking to women, then if you can turn it to the excitement. We talk about how fear is experienced in the body the same way. Wow, you know, at least in that way you could be adorable. But to allow yourself to be present with that fear and have it enliven you, excite you, I think is what we want to look at. And the other thing that you can do is practice. If you can identify what it is, there's this one person whose assignment for preparing for interviews was actually to make mistakes. Because he found that he always had the right answer. He was a super smart guy. But if he was asked a question in an interview that he didn't know the exact answer for, he literally froze one time for a whole minute in an interview. Like, that's just hell. So I think you might relate to that. And the way that he worked it was that in his day-to-day interactions, he was managing a team. He started just making little mistakes. He started putting in orders wrong and stuff. And his team would say like, what are you doing? Like, you're screwing this up. And he came back and he said, not only am I getting about how to be more present in interviews, but he's like, I realized I was micromanaging my team, and by me screwing up, they started performing way better. So I don't know if making mistakes might actually help. If you're so terrified that you're going to say the wrong thing, in some ways you said the wrong thing. So like, quote unquote, in that moment. So too late, like you're going to say the wrong thing. So if you can actually develop this ability to be with yourself while you're making mistakes, it's one of the assignments in our programs that a lot of people get a lot of value from, because we're also trained not to make mistakes. But if you can just it's kind of underlining what you're saying about like, fuck it if you're awkward. Great, you're awkward. Like, isn't that more interesting than being totally suave, cool, I got everything handled? Like, who
I don't enjoy talking with those people.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't. It's just not, I mean, you can get going, but it's like, but keep going. I love this.
No, but I like that. It's like, is that really fun? How many people have started a relationship with somebody that looks really good, checks all these boxes, and then you get into it and it's like, who the is this person?
Yeah.
So like,
and you were saying one thing I don't want to lose, because with the mistakes thing, I want to add on to that.
Yeah.
Because you were going for a reframe of the mistakes. And let's go one step further, because part of that assignment that George Donald was talking about is a year of more assignment that we have, and it's celebrating mistakes. And I think like the celebration element is really important, because you're actually literally changing your mind. You're changing the neurological response to a stimulus, like a mistake or whatever, or the prospect of making a mistake, and shifting that into a celebration. So it's like, no matter what I say to this woman, this is a celebration. Like, I'm making the approach. And even if you approach and then you decide to call it off last second, fine, but celebrate that. Like, we've got to get you shifting away from this like life or death situation, because it can feel like life or death. I was surprised. I mean, like, I'm pretty advanced with like, I feel pretty good socially with stuff, but like, I was surprised at how scared I was just approaching random strangers and talking with them. It was a physiological event. I mean, I was very scared, but I was just celebrating the fact that I was getting out there and meeting people. I've not felt that alive in a long time, but celebrate. So let's reframe that to have you celebrate and have the win be you just getting out there and getting into the game. And also another thing that's important, don't do too much. So the tendency is to like get out there and like, oh, I'm gonna go talk to 100 women. And like, okay, great. You'll do that for a day and you'll never do it again. What's gonna happen is you're gonna go. This happened to me. I did great. I like the first people I talked to, I mean, it was really great. It was really cool. Great connections. But then I got hurt. Someone said something, someone was really mean, they rejected me, like, I don't want to talk to you. And I was like, I was really hurt. And then I didn't do it for a few days. Had I just kind of like done a couple a day for a while, I would have done it for longer. I'm still trying to get myself back into the mindset, and less like about approaching beautiful women and more about just like talking with people and being engaged in the world. That's kind of where I want to shift it to. But like, have like a goal of like one a day, like one scary thing a day or something like that. So you can keep it going over long term, because this relates back to neuroscience and just learning. And when you do something consistently over a longer period of time, you're actually going to change your brain. You'll actually make long-term changes. Whereas if you do these short-term bursts, like the people who cram for tests and stuff like that, the long-term memory retention is way less. And so let's get you just moving and shaking, but doing little small things. And you want to have wins. You want to have as many wins as you can. So I am not in for like the huge audacious things. That's what I did at the beginning. And it was funny. It's like, it's cool. It's sexy. It's like, oh, cool. I did this really big thing. But let's get you moving. So I love the
awesome
mistakes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So we are being asked to talk about how to be rejected in a non-creepy way. The answer is there is no way to be rejected in a non-creepy way. If you go up and talk with someone, be respectful. You're not trying to like. I wouldn't make comments on getting rejected. So hold on, we're micromanaging this kid. He hasn't even gone out there and talked. Get the guy out there. You're gonna be creepy. It's fine, dude. Go out there. You're gonna be creepy. Okay. I'm totally fine with it. I do not want to micromanage this guy. I'd like to get him out there. Go be respectful. That is the key. Be respectful. And if someone doesn't want to talk to you, don't try to force it. Don't try to push it. Don't try to be suave. If someone doesn't want to talk to you, say, okay, totally got it. That sucks. Or, oh, bummer. And then get out of there. And you can even plan your rejection. You can plan your out. But you're going to be surprised. Most people are decent and kind as long as you're decent and kind. But if someone's really mean to you, just be like, ouch, okay, bummer. Or
That's what
get out of there.
I wanted to say is like totally, but and maybe this is for like the broader scope of talking, but to just say, oh, thanks for the feedback. Ow. Like what you said of just acknowledging like, oh, I was just rejected. Like how cool is that? That can be, I don't think that's creepy. Is that creepy? So
or apologize. I mean, like if you interrupted someone, like sometimes people have like an earbud in and you know if they're on the phone or whatever, and like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Or like if they're working and they really want to talk tomorrow, I apologize. That's fine too. I mean, you're going to come off creepy, man. Like you're just going to learn it over time. That is one thing you will learn how to do is not become creepy, but just don't force it. Please don't force it.
Okay.
Yeah.